Is it really worth selling on Amazon? Don't they eat too much of the fees? There's so much competition. How fast do we become a millionaire is the most common one, practically in every meeting.
So do you think is it still possible to make $1 million with just starting with $5,000?
That's a funny question. Are you willing to use $5,000 to buy some equipment to rob a bank? Then probably yes, it's worth it.
But still people are asking, like, is Amazon or other marketplaces,
Yeah.
Are they killing the brand or are they scaling it?
Why are you sitting here on a podcast? You're getting exposed. The same way Amazon takes your brand ahead and exposes it. All marketplaces do that. They bring your product to life.
And what happens when somebody brings the same product in the market and sells at a lower price?
That's amazing. That means you've done something right. That's your sign to develop the product. Great, let him drop the price. You re-innovate. That's your sign.
What is Quintin's golden magic wand?
Go as crazy as you can get with your product where you think people will like it. Don't try to jump on the same bandwagon. Be as silly as possible and recreate a product. Innovate.
But don't you think that can sometimes cost?
No risk, no reward, no?
Hello, everyone. This is Rupa from the Business Blueprint powered by Black Swan Business Setup Services. Today's podcast is about cutting the noise in the aggregator, e-commerce, and the online marketplace industry. Yes, this industry is full of speculations, vague success stories, and there's hardly any transparency or real talk from the people who are actually building and scaling here. The aggregator marketplace space hit its maximum valuation peak $1.5 billion, and then comes market correction. People wants to know what now, what's working, what's real, and what's going to happen next. The AI and the supply chain shifts have literally changed how marketplace is operating. New people, new sellers are coming in the market, and people want to build stronger and exit better. We'll unpack hard-won lessons, M&A insights, tech stacks, and exit strategies from the people who are really working inside the industry. Welcome, Quintin, to Business Blueprint. Thank you so much for taking out your time.
Thank you for having me here, Rupa. It's
Wonderful.
exciting being here with you.
Awesome. So I'm looking forward to today's podcast. We have been talking since so long. I'm really excited to get into the real insights of your industry. And especially your industry literally attracted me when I tried to start my cosmetics brand.
Right,
And,
absolutely.
and when I was checking with you, and there were so many things which was like, wow, I didn't know this.
Right.
So my first question to you is, Quintin, first of all, please tell our audience who are you, what you do a little bit, and then maybe I'll start the hard-hitting questions to you.
Sure. I'm Quintin. I've been in the e-commerce space for about 11 years now. Before that, I was a hotelier between Dubai, Lithuania, Eastern Europe, and back in Abu Dhabi. I got into Amazon by mistake. When my daughter was born, I had 3 months. I was at home, not doing much. And then I got into the baby space first and set up my first store in Germany. That was by mistake. It was a funny story, similar to the lady that was taking Dubai chocolate 3 months ago, and she got caught at the airport. My wife had a panic in 2014 when I took 500 cables, charging cables into Germany, and I wasn't caught. And obviously, somebody from Amazon said, "Okay, Quintin, go ahead. You have a week to do it since you've been in sales for so long." And I sold zero for a week. Then he took on, and we sold 500 pieces in 4 days. And I bought it at $1 and sold it at 25 euros. So I said, "Okay, there's something here." And then the rest is history. And then I got into the baby space. I did wooden toys, 6 feet dollhouses, kitchens, so on and so forth.
So starting by chance and then becoming an expert of it, I'm sure there is a lot of stories inside it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's wonderful. So when you started your journey,
Yeah.
so you said you started with baby products,
Right.
and now you are handling almost more than 100 types of products, and I don't know how many types of products.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands more to
Hundreds
say.
of thousands of
Yeah.
products. And today, when you go to clients and when you keep yourself in their shoes, what is the first question they throw at you, being somebody who is trying to enter the market? What are the most asked questions by the clients?
The most common one, is it really worth selling on Amazon? Don't they eat too much of the fees? There's so much competition. How fast do we become a millionaire is the most common one. I mean, practically in every meeting, will it happen in a few months? Will it? Well, if it does happen in a few months, I wouldn't be the person talking to you then, right?
Absolutely.
It'd be somebody else probably. That is, and then I think the silliest question you get is what is the most trending product. Everyone wants to ride the wave. And then that dies out, So we kind of avoid clients like that somebody just wants to ride the wave and not build a sustainable product or a brand. Yeah.
So who are your right clients?
Somebody who's willing to grow in their passion. Like you said, you wanted to get into cosmetic space, right?
Right.
I think, in fact, funny enough, I had a call just last night with somebody out of the US. She's launching her own sustainable product. I didn't even realize how this is for showers, shower gels. There were hair growth serums. And she wanted to grow it really slowly but steadily.
Right.
And I know that category is fierce. There were few serums, like the hair growth serum last month closed at about, I think it was somewhere around $10 million. Just a few big sellers.
Wow.
And a couple of those sellers who we've managed, like I've done Korean products as well. Even before everybody was hogging it over here, we were one of the first few agencies that had exclusive distribution to it. And even in the US, at that time, it was doing about 1 million units a month. That's 1.54 nearly per second, until you had hackers coming in and sharing the same listings and all of that, right? So, I mean, you're gotten into an aggressive space. I mean, it takes a lot of fight in you to go down that route, but it is sustainable and worth it. Yeah.
Understood. So, but then now, because we are living in UAE, and obviously, when it comes to UAE and
Yeah.
comparing the US, obviously it cannot be compared. But then, why the US market? That question, because everyone wants to know that should they sell first in US and then to other countries? Should they start from their home country? This question is always in people's mind. What do you suggest as an expert?
Both are good answers, and as long as it fits your pocket. UAE is ideal for starting it small because of our population size, and the reach is lesser, to get to your audience or customer base. It's a perfect place to start with people who want to start with a small budget. All right. We are 1% in comparison to the United States. July had about, I think, on Similar Web, if everyone can see, even to study their own platforms and Shopify stores as well. Similar Web gives you a snapshot of stats where it had about 2.8 billion visitors in July 25 versus UAE had 24 million. So we're a little less than 1% footfall. Right, that's on the website on .a versus .com. So that also correlates to products. When you look at a product in Amazon also, there are multiple tools that you can use like Helium and Jungle Scout and all, and you can actually see it in both countries, whether it's a hair growth serum or sporting goods. The 1% does exist. So it all depends which market do you want to get into.
How big you want to launch?
Yeah.
Because yes,
even the inventory, right? Do you have that much to spend to take it into the US?
in UAE, what are the most famous marketplaces? And are all the marketplaces for all the products and all nationalities? Or is it like, some marketplaces are dominant with some party, because UAE is hub of more than
it's a
200
melting pot.
nationalities.
Absolutely.
So what has been your observation?
No, it's good for all marketplaces. I mean, there are about 14 to name a few. We're talking about Amazon, Noon, First Crime, Mum's World, Dubai. There are many others like that, So you shouldn't limit yourself. You definitely have the opportunity. You have great scope. When you're talking about putting your brand online, since it's a smaller reach, you don't spend that much also on ads in comparison to the US because a larger reach, a larger audience, right? So I think it's good to start here. But if you can take it large and wide, US, yes, indeed. It's a no-brainer, I told you that even for your own cosmetics. Rupa, that's the place to go for it. And the sales are crazy. I've seen, we've monitored quite recently, we're playing with 2 Chinese factories, monitoring another factory that actually took, and we did it in 2 months. The other factory did it in a matter of 1 month. We took it from 0 sales to just a anti-noise cancellation earbuds, went from 0 sales to 10,000 units in a month, and they're $30. That's $300,000 just there. That's about what, close to 1.2 million dirham.
So do you think, is it still possible to make $1 million with just starting with $5,000?
That's a funny question. Are you willing to use $5,000 to buy some equipment to rob a bank? Then probably yes, it's worth it. $5,000 is good enough.
Good answer, because in this space, everybody thinks that they want to just scale fast, grow fast. Immediately, they want to go big, viral.
I mean, I did some funny things with it. So there was a camel milk soap factory, right? I remember taking 1,000 pieces each time into my luggage, and I was buying it from Stevie with the owner. This was in 2014 or 15, and I sent a thousand pieces with my in-laws, and then hotel buddies who would go for the hotel show. I'd send cartons with them, and we were selling at about 25 to 35 euros a piece, zero transportation cost, right? So
Wow.
yeah, if you have that kind of mindset and you want to go crazy, yes, I always
Yes,
say
you
you
can.
need to be mad when you're doing these sorts of things.
But still, people are asking, like, is Amazon like, or other marketplaces,
Yeah.
are they killing the brand or are they scaling it?
Well, okay, let me put it this way. Today we have TikTok, right? Why you sitting here on a podcast, you're getting exposed. The same way Amazon takes your brand ahead and exposes it. All marketplaces do that. They bring your product to life, right? So that's your answer. It doesn't kill a brand, it definitely scales it. I mean, that's why we are in business for 11 years with it.
For sure. But then, do you think that everybody can scale? What are the major mistakes that makes it difficult to scale the way people want?
That's a very good one. One starting point, if you're not researched well. A lot of people think just because you've researched a winning product, they're in business now.
Yeah.
No, they need to find those gaps. Whether it's just a combination, if you're selling spoons, why don't you put spoons, knives, and forks together and give it as a combination? It's just so simple little tweaks, right? The second thing is nobody concentrates on stock. Everybody has that mindset. First, I'll sell this out and then we'll talk about it later, once we get the money. That one, I myself made the mistake. There was an agency that I hired before in Germany, and this agency was selling out my baby walkers. They were wooden baby walkers. It was a losing product in my whole container. It sat there for about 2 years. When I took on the agency, they sold it all out in a month. There were about 400 pieces. I said, okay, they pushed me to get some more. It takes 2 months in production, 2 months nearly in sailing, and then you lose 15 days internal transportation and breaking down to multiple Amazon warehouses.
Yes.
That took about 6 months, and they sell out again in 20 days, a whole container.
Right.
So I'm not prepared for stock. I was a hotelier, just finished, working with hotels, and it was the same year. So I couldn't understand this whole inventory management. So I made a decent amount of mistakes over there. I think people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to inventory. Then it's about talking about your product. Nobody likes to talk about their product. We have many introverts, sorry, who are clients. They think their products are extroverts. It should speak about themselves. The minute it goes online, it should just sell.
Sell by itself.
No, but do team up. Today, the world is a beautiful place to live in with micro influencers, people such as yourself who talk about a business or a product,
Right.
get exposed there, make your product speak louder. It's not just placing that ad on a sponsored ad. Nobody's going to learn about it and buy it. And then people think the next thing is undercutting.
Right.
Undercutting is the biggest mistake, I feel. They think just because they've dropped it down by $5, $10, or a dollar or two, somebody's going to buy it. Yes, you do get a swing vote, but you don't get loyalty on it.
Right. And especially this happens when new, players start entering the
Absolutely.
market, people panic and they start giving discounts and
Right.
offers. So do you think that, like, from as a seller, I'm thinking, like, if I will be in that situation, even I'll panic. But what is your suggestion? What you must have seen brands who know to handle the situation pretty well. So what are they doing right?
I get people to talk about it more and more. I'll tell you the funny thing that happened. There was a Montessori toy. Even myself, forget myself. There was somebody else selling a product, and he got somebody with just 150 euros to talk about it in Germany. And he sat on inventory worth 4,000 units. It was a €5 item selling at about 35. He had a good enough margin and he was advertising, but it was not just getting the clicks. But the
Right.
minute he got somebody to talk about it, it started to move.
Wow.
What I see here, there are a lot of smart sellers here in the UAE. Forget Europe and US. I know of a few big brands, and it's amazing what they do. They keep doing these activations or these drops, as you may call it. They get influencers from all different nationalities. They do it over a weekend, and not only online, but they are also plugged in offline. So all their aggregators are selling online and offline as well. It's like a school bag, right? When do you do this activation? Just before school.
Right.
My sellers, when they're closing for Christmas on their products, they close it in March, but they start creating a buzz, especially the toy sellers. They do it all through the year. They do it during examination times, they do it during holiday times. Then there's obviously Halloween, Christmas, Easter, so on and so forth, right?
Right.
Now there are so many seasons that you keep dropping these activations. You need people talking about your product.
And what happens when somebody brings the same product in the market and sells at a lower price?
That's amazing. That means you've done something right.
Oh,
Now
wow,
you start,
really?
that's your sign to develop the product. All right. Let's say you're doing cosmetics. Let's say you're doing a hair serum. All right. Now, just yesterday we looked at a lovely product, with the head massager, that silicone one that you rub into it. Okay.
Right.
Why not give it along with a pouch or something like that? Great. Let him drop the price. You re-innovate. That's your sign to
Okay.
re-innovate. You can improve and hike up your price as well.
Wow. So you're suggesting if a competitor enters with a lower
Right.
price, you rather add value and
Value.
increase your
It's
price.
always add value.
So you
Always add
make
value.
keep yourself premium.
Yes. We're living in Dubai, aren't
Very good
we? Have you
suggestion.
seen real estate going down?
No,
No, it
not.
just keeps adding value, right?
So now if you have to get into the industry, let's say again as a
Right.
seller, which niche would you choose?
Baby products again.
Oh, wow. And why baby products?
This time I would do the diaper disposable bags. That always fascinated me. The
Why?
dice,
Why?
those discs, even till today, the price of those discs where you throw a diaper into, and my wife pushed me to buy this product in the house when the kids were small. Obviously, we're talking about nearly 10, 11 years ago. And the little dustbin, it's called the diaper genie. You circle it around, it looks like a little sausage roll.
Right.
I thought, okay, I found out the price. Those discs are with manufacturers anywhere between $1 and $2. Buying those discs costs you how much? This goes into hundreds of dirhams.
Right.
Same thing with diapers, and it is only for players that can manage bringing in a container. You can't do this in 100 and 200 pieces and try and wing it. I'm talking about throwaway bags.
Because babies will always
Yeah, yeah.
keep popping
You've
out.
got babies popping out and they're always pooping, right? Every 2 hours. It's guaranteed business.
I never
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it that way, but now pooping sounds really
Yeah.
profitable.
Dustbin's full of cash.
That's
Absolutely.
that's awesome. So now, Quentin, definitely when thinking of getting into this market online
Yeah.
space, and no doubt this question will come into people's mind: what is the fastest going product, or what will sell faster,
Right.
or so you. And when it comes to that, there's again two things. One is selling other products
Right.
as a retailer, and one is selling your own branded products.
Right.
So I really want to know your insight in both the perspectives. Like if I'm a reseller or
Right.
if I'm selling my own brands, both of them, what suggestion you will give them when it comes to the fastest going products?
In this region, if you're a reseller
Mm.
and you have the capacity for large categories, and you can really be diverse, then it's great. But if you're somebody who's trying to do it out of your bedroom, it's really not possible. Growing your own brand is something I would advise you to go towards. All right, because that's something you can scale at a low budget to begin with. You don't have to go crazy, because reseller, you're left with very thin margins, right?
Mm.
As a manufacturer, you can design your own product. Procurement is key. If you're not buying it at the right cost, and then you don't have the margin to sell, you're going to bleed it eventually, because you've got so much money in advertising, packaging, product development, so on and so forth. Hiring the right agency or the agents or team members to work with you. But private label, yes, both work. They're both different verticals. Resellers are meant for large distributors who have the appetite of buying in tens of thousands of those units and giving a few into
That's the money
Amazon.
game.
Yes,
And the self
the
branding is more
self
of
branding
a
is amazing.
different game because
Yes.
you'll have to make sure that you love the product.
I love how Ugreen did it over here. Ugreen was that electronic brand, right?
Okay.
This brand was initially on Amazon. I don't think it had we're talking about 4 years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it was only selling on Amazon and not even really well done private label. Today, look at it. It's sitting in Etisalat, those hubs. It's selling in Jumbo. It's selling everywhere.
Right.
So that started off as a brand. I mean, it's nice to know. I'm pretty proud of it that we've got some homegrown brands here in the UAE like this
Wow.
that are success stories. And that's only a few. There's so much more opportunity. Like in Europe and the US, you have to do it as a brand. You cannot do it as a reseller.
So among all the clients that you have acquired, what has been your biggest, success story?
The biggest one there has been, it's during the beginning of our journey in Germany, and we still have him as a client. He came in raw, a Polish gentleman that did 3 bottles. And gentleman now has got a crazy range of products. He does anywhere between 1.5 to two-ish sort of million euros on a monthly basis. We had a lot, a lot of learning from that, how wrong packaging also can be quite a problem, and how firm we need to be as an agency. Simple mistake of not getting the barcode right and visible, trying to do it cheap, where they couldn't even scan it. The entire stock lot had to come back outside, and it cost him over 1 million to repackage all those bottles, redo it, print it, the transportation and everything. So we
Big deal.
realized we had to be really firm with the customer, even if they are being stubborn. And that customer is still with us for the
So you're
last
like
11
the
years.
gatekeeper
Absolutely.
of the marketplace.
Yeah.
So if a brand goes through you, so
Yeah.
you're scanning, fixing everything, and then you're
Absolutely.
sending them
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Okay. So now, is there any criteria how these aggregators are choosing the brands that, or
It's how
are they
much
open
love
to
you
all,
give
open to
it.
everything?
They're open to all. They don't block you if you've got your documentation right.
Mm.
It's amazing. With when you're creating your own brand as well, they're going to ask you for your certifications. You're like over here, you'd have to have your municipality certifications as well for your products, right? The health codes and so on and so forth. So it doesn't really stop you, but it keeps away the fake.
Okay.
That's the fun of it, right?
Mhm.
Same thing goes for in Europe and now and US. You have a lot of factories, even in China, who will do that on your behalf. There are a lot of agencies that get to do it.
Mhm.
So you don't really have a challenge in launching your product here. And aggregators don't stop you as long as you have your documents in check.
Okay.
And that's a good thing because then they're not just flooded with random sellers, right?
Let's say, for example, I'm a person, I've got my product ready, I've got my branding ready. Now I'm ready to launch in the US market. What are the first three things I must prepare or I must do, to start with?
First, contact Rupa for opening up the bank account in the company in the US. That's the first thing I say.
Thank you.
Second thing is, I never asked you also whether you do the certification of it. I'm sure you would be looped in with people to handle product certifications.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the next thing. The most important thing is tying up with a third-party logistics center,
Right.
because where are your goods going to wait and get repackaged to go into the Amazon warehouses? We do that for the customer, but if your agency doesn't do it, look them up. It's easy to do, and there are a lot of people that are going to pick and pack it for
So
you and
set up
send
your
it in.
company in US, open your bank account, get your product registered or
Yeah.
brand trademarked,
Yes.
and talk to the logistics
Logistics
company
team.
who's going to do it for
Yes.
you, or contact Quintin,
And
and
yeah,
Quintin will arrange
absolutely.
it all for them.
Yes.
So Quintin, would you like us to tell about any one of the most biggest brand flip that you've ever seen? Any story that really impressed you?
They started with a vape accessory person who we were working with, but basically just in the vape category in Europe. All right, and he just moved a few of his products into the US.
Okay.
And this was before when you had those big vape.
Big vapes.
Yeah. So the mouthpiece, he just came up with something before anybody could, a silicone cap with a little ring around the vape. It was like a little rubber band with the cap on top. Okay. And before anybody else, he said, let's get out there and do this. And I thought that was absolutely foolish. Nobody's done it. The advertising, who do you get to talk about it? Is it really a need? Has he done enough research around it?
Right.
Is it going to move? He said, okay, let's just scout it out. We were ready. We spoke to a factory. We created the ring. The molds were done. All of it was done. The cost on it was not even like 3 or 4 cents a piece. All right. He did packs of 25, 50, and 100. And I was like, why do you need it? Quintin, I'm a vape fanatic. I know, and I hate it with all the dust and everything. It's lying there. I want it closed. Okay. He called it some crazy name, Panda's Cloud Panda, or something like that. I don't even know what it was. And we were selling the 25 piece pack for, again, it was 15, 25, and 50 euros. We did 1 million pieces. I think there was about in
Wow.
total. And we packed it. It was about 20, 30,000 odd packs. It sold off in 15 days. Now, a bigger vape company came because that logo, the guy had trademarked it already. He didn't register the brand, he trademarked just that logo, right? and he had that category. A bigger guy came and bought him out for a little over 1.7 million euro.
Wow.
And because he had the entire thing, then he went into lanyards around it and stuff like that. That's the fastest one I've seen. 15 days, and it created hype.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's magic.
Yeah.
That is what everybody's looking for. They want to build
That's
smart and
yeah.
exit smart.
That's a one-off, that
Yeah.
yeah.
One of it.
Yeah.
But very good one.
Yeah.
So now, among all the brand success strategies and all the talks, do you find something which is really, really very overrated and hyped, and you want to burst the bubble?
True. Yes. Marketing, advertising. People think just because you splash it all over the place. I can't name a few, but I've seen people over here do it. They reached out to us, splash the banner all through the building and some bus stops and all before talking about the product.
Okay.
Okay. So how does it create the hype? It's not created a hype. And now you say you want to advertise everywhere. Nobody's talking about a product. You haven't got that user generated content. I mean, we are lucky today with user generated content or not expensive actors and actresses to back your product, right? So you've not done all of that. You've gone and paid huge amounts in millions just because you think that is the right strategy. We followed the old school of thought over there. That is one mistake. The other one we spoke of earlier, drop your price and enter the market. It takes a lot of time to come back up after you've dropped your price. It doesn't make sense. Then riding the wave. A lot of people say, okay, that's right. Let's just put on our label onto it. We're already in the space. We'll speak to the same factory. Let's just get onto it. That's not really it. A lot of people try to make mistakes. I mean, make a lot of mistakes like that. They try these techniques out and it fails. I haven't seen one get successful like that. Not a
Because
single one.
customers have become very intelligent nowadays.
Absolutely.
So it's not just that putting the hoardings and all, and you're very right. Unless you talk about the
Yeah.
product, that's creating hype. It's
Did
not
you ever
about
buy
just.
the fidget spinners?
No, I didn't. But yes,
Yeah, you remember when it was introduced here, 150 dirhams?
I know.
And then in a month's time, it was 10 dirhams for 5 in your local bakala. Yeah, that's one of those mistakes, right?
Very good example.
Yeah.
So among you meet so many clients and they come up with obviously when the let's say the inventory is
Yeah.
big and things are not selling, the pressure is built up. I'm sure people get to do a lot of crazy things to
Right.
increase their valuation or
Right.
increase their sales or something. Do you remember any of the most crazy things that you've come across during any customer has done?
So brands have gotten themselves blocked this way as well. You
Okay.
do get blocked if you do try shady stuff. All right. The most common one is they've used websites where they've put up their credit card that in an artificial sales campaign where they have these back end groups who will buy products, and you tell the campaign that buy one every day, in the morning one, afternoon one, evening one. It helps with the algorithm and shifts your bestseller rank number, right? You're closer to the first page. Everyone wants to be in the top 100, right?
Yes.
That is one. Then to the same thing, they will add a review. They'll start another campaign where they'll add a review. And then Amazon is not silly, right? They jump onto these things. You must be living in La La Land over here to think, okay, I'm going to get under the radar with these stupid techniques.
Right.
They all get caught. We've seen people go from 20,000 reviews down to 3,000 overnight. Amazon
Oh.
grabs this. And then a lot of people do this. It's a healthy thing, but don't try to overdo it. I'm sorry if I'm giving the wrong advice here, but if people with large teams, all right, simple thing you can do. Get your own teams to buy it in their own space, not under the same office where it looks like it's a group purchase or something like that. And different days, spread it. And if you've got a good circle, friends and family to create that hype and sustainability or to give it that little boost, you should do it where you ask your friends, family, and employees and colleagues, don't unwrap the product when you get it. Give it back to me. I'll send the entire inventory back in, So
Okay.
you've organically helped to grow it. But yeah, there are a lot of silly tricks people try these days to get it done. They dump those little cards in there saying, please leave us a review and we'll give you a discount on the next. Those things hardly work. You get caught. Focus on the product rather than going with a begging bowl for reviews. This is what I say.
So many suggestions we came across.
Right.
So now, among all these, one golden suggestion that you would like to give everyone, like this is the golden thumb rule,
Right.
which can become a game changer for you. So, what is Quintin's golden magic wand?
Go as crazy as you can get with your product where you think people will like it. Don't try to jump on the same bandwagon. Be as silly as possible and recreate a product. Innovate.
Yeah, in today's time, we say you never know what people will like.
Yeah.
You never know.
Dubai
So
chocolate. You see?
don't restrict yourself. Just go ahead with your
Yeah.
creativity. But don't you think that can sometimes cost you.
No risk, no reward, no?
Absolutely. Okay, so Quentin, what is one product category which you think is dying, but no one sees it yet?
Household and kitchen.
Okay.
This is something that everybody thinks that, it's so flooded, but it's brilliant. Look at how beautiful the country that we are in, how it's set up. People keep moving around, right? Either renting, buying, or moving around to a closer area to closer to the
Yeah,
workplace,
because
right?
it's the expat city, so
Exactly. So for that reason, people keep buying fitted sheets, bed sheets, rugs, throws. I say this is free advice. You can do it as well, Rupa. The best three products you can do. One is your water bottle rack,
mhm.
your drying rack, and a kitchen rack. These are use and throw. These are guaranteed sales month on month. Every time somebody changes an apartment, a house, shared space, these things keep getting purchased. This category is just not dying. All you need to do is improve upon it. I get lovely clients coming and saying, I don't like these sheets, after one wash it's gone. Obviously, you've bought not a really well done product, or it's a cheap product in pricing. They want to recreate it for that reason. And that's where their passion stems from. They come up with a new brand around
Right,
that area because they like something, they want to give the world something like that.
right,
So this is a category that I love as well because it's a sustainable category. You
right.
don't have to worry about it dying out ever.
Very
All
true.
right. So rugs, throws, pillowcases, fitted sheets are something that are constantly moving, and there's no seasonality to it. And yes, there is a better season. It's temporary again, New Year's and all, where people want to throw in different colors and stuff like that. Yes,
Yeah.
but it's a good category.
Golden idea.
Yeah.
Good thought. Huh? I'll
Yeah.
also think on it. So, and while these brands are again at the same context, then again, what are the three signs through which you understand, yeah, this brand is going to blow up?
How many questions you're getting raised by the audience on your marketplace, all right, where people are asking about a certain product. If certain people are commenting on that question that is raised on those reviews,
Mm.
okay, people are engaging on it
Mhm.
and they require it. The third one is where random people are talking about you on all social handles. This is blowing up then without paying somebody at that point in time.
Yeah.
And suddenly you just start running out of inventory. I think that's the biggest sign.
And this is how definitely as
Yeah,
consultants, you guys help them with
absolutely.
changing the table
Yeah,
and making things better for them.
right.
So finally, if you have to choose between review and revenue, what will you choose?
Reviews lead to revenue any day, all day.
So if there are reviews,
Yeah,
revenue
yeah,
will follow.
absolutely.
Wonderful. So it was wonderful talking to you, Quintin. I think we got a lot of questions answered today, and we would like to talk about it more. But still, I'll request my audience to feel free to ask any questions that you want to, and we send the questions to Quintin, and he would love to answer your questions. And thank you so much, Quintin, for taking out time and coming to our podcast.
Thank you for having me here. It's been fun.
So, guys, I hope you like the podcast. Feel free to give us review. This is Rupa Jha signing out from Business Blueprint, powered by Blackstone Business Setup Services. We'll meet you again in the next episode with another guest, with another insight. Till then, bye bye.